Hey guys, this is Ideas of Ice and Fire, and I just looked through my YouTube comments and dug up 5 Q&A questions, which I am going to answer now, and all of these questions relate to Game of Thrones, and not specifically A Song of Ice and Fire, although I will mention A Song of Ice and Fire in this video, so just be warned. First question, is there any chance that we will see Lady Stoneheart in the future of the series? Honestly, I don't believe that she will show up. At this point, I don't think they really have a reason to, and in my personal opinion, I think that, yeah, it's kind of a missed opportunity, because Stoneheart, what she did was that she just made the world seem just a bit more magical than it really is, because it's already a low magic fantasy, and in the show it's even lower. They tend to cut a bunch of magic stuff, which perhaps is a good thing, because a lot of times what I see is that they don't really portray magical things the way that I would like, or the way that they are described in the books. For example, the White Walkers are quite different. This is kind of a digression, I know, but the White Walkers are portrayed quite differently than how they are described in the books. They kind of look like old men in the show, and I mean the White Walkers, the actual ice beings, the White Walkers, not the Whites. The White Walkers just kind of look like old men, and they move just kind of like just kind of like people, honestly. They're like old people. That's what they look like to me. And they're not the kind of elegant, inhuman, beautiful creatures as they are described in the books. In the books, they actually even have armor that's made of ice that kind of glimmers, that you can't really see it because it's made of this, because they have ways of shaping ice that men can't even understand. And, you know, they kind of move in this kind of swift, like I said, inhuman, deadly way that you know when you're looking at a White Walker that you're looking at something dangerous, that you're looking at the last thing that you will ever see. They're way scarier, in my opinion. But, you know, that is a complete digression. You know, and the show cuts things like that, some for understandable reasons. But, you know, like things like Stoneheart, Marwyn, and just, you know, some of the more cool fantasy stuff is cut, and even things like Bloodraven and the Children of the Forest, in my opinion, are cut short. So a lot of that I don't get, but you know, I'm a huge fantasy nerd. I like to see fantasy creatures and fantasy stuff, but a lot of people don't watch the show for that reason, which is understandable. They got to cater to their audience. You know, what can they do? So most likely no Stoneheart. If they show Stoneheart now, it'd be so not even right anymore, because you know, if they had shown Stoneheart when she arrives in the book, it would have been one of the biggest, most crazy TV cliffhangers ever. I think that would have been amazing. I would have loved to see the show watchers get the same shock that I got reading the epilogue of Storm of Swords. But unfortunately, it only happened in the novels, which maybe that's a good thing. Who knows? We'll see how it works out in the next couple of novels. What shall become of Samwell Tarly? Alright, now Samwell Tarly has always been one of my favorite characters. I love Sam the Slayer. He's awesome. Well, Sam is at the Citadel in both the books and the show. Those two storylines are aligned perfectly, except there's a little bit more going on in the books. He's with someone else in the book, and that person, he doesn't know who this person really is. This person is masquerading as someone else. This person is actually the faceless man that wore the face of Jaqen H'ghar, and we don't know why he's at the Citadel. There are some indications that he's there to gain some information because he has a key that unlocks every door, so you wonder what's he doing with that. But I think in both the book and the show, Sam is at the Citadel to discover something crucial about the future of mankind. Well, he has to discover something about the past, because what you got to understand about the Citadel, if you don't realize this, is that this is one of the largest libraries in the entire world. There are books there that are so ancient, and that no living person has even seen some of these books, maybe, you know. And there may be something in there about the true nature of White Walkers, and he may discover something that helps us understand exactly how we defeated the White Walkers last time, so that mankind can win them over again. Or maybe he'll uncover something about their nature that tells us that they're not actually our enemies, that they're doing what they're doing for a reason that we simply just don't understand from our perspective, because we don't know why the White Walkers are doing what they're doing. Are they just evil? Rah, 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 we're gonna kill everything. I don't think so. And judging by what George R. R. Martin has said, that more about the nature of the White Walkers will be revealed in the Winds of Winter, I think that there's definitely something else to them. And judging by George R. R. Martin's disdain for just black and white, good versus evil, he criticizes Tolkien. Well, it's not necessarily a criticism, but he has a note with Tolkien where he just says, like, the bad guys are just bad for the sake of being bad. Just like, we're evil and we're gonna just destroy everything. But I can't imagine that he would write the White Walkers that way. There's something else to them, and Sam may uncover that in the Citadel. That's why he's there. Okay, next question. You said in your predictions video that Littlefinger would probably die next season. Can you explain why you think this? Oh yes, I certainly can. Can anyone out there give me just a couple legitimate reasons why Littlefinger in the show should live? I mean, the Night's King is coming, Daenerys is coming, the political intrigue is done. What possible role could Littlefinger have? I mean, other than some filler nonsense with Sansa and Jon. Like, is Littlefinger gonna be crucial in the war against the others? Is Littlefinger gonna somehow swindle Daenerys out of one of her dragons and take off flying past the wall or something and charge the armies of the dead? What do you think that Littlefinger is going to do? I predicted Littlefinger's death solely on the point that he's no longer useful to the plot of the show. I can't think of a single way that he's useful, that really useful to the plot of the show. Not with 13 episodes left. I'm sorry, I just don't see Littlefinger having a major role. In the books, certainly, there's still a lot more that needs to happen. He's setting Sansa up as the Queen of the North. Anything could happen. But in the show, yeah, this seems like the end for Littlefinger. I mean, come on, he's barely done anything for like the past 2 seasons. What did he do in season 5? Okay, he gave Sansa to the Boltons to be raped. What did he do this season? He came out of nowhere and saved Jon Snow and saved the battle, which we all knew he was going to do. That's all he's done for the past 2 seasons. You still think he's an important character? I don't. I think he's going to die. I do. Do you think that Tyrion is a Targaryen, and do you think that they will reveal it in the show? Honestly, Tyrion is Tywin's son. End of story. Tyrion is Tywin's son, and that's the tragedy about it. I think it's way more likely that Cersei and Jaime are Targaryens than Tyrion, because let me tell you why. Okay, they're twins, and they make love to each other because they're attracted to each other. You know, there's the whole thing that Targaryens are totally into each other. They're incest. They breed each other, and even Cersei says the Targaryens wed brother and sister for years. She keeps saying that as a justification as to why she's so attracted to her brother. 2, it's the whole flip a coin thing. Like, they say it's 50-50. They'll either go mad or they won't with Targaryens. Cersei is out of her mind, and that's clear to anyone that's ever read A Feast for Crows. She's completely crazy, while Jaime seems to be much more sane, so that was to flip the coin. And then second of all, Cersei is totally obsessed with fire. Like, way more than she should be. She's totally going Mad King. So wouldn't it make perfect sense if the Mad King was her father? Cersei is Mad Queen. There are all these parallels. So I think that if anybody is Targaryen, it's Cersei and Jaime, not Tyrion. And it makes it even more good because Tywin is all like, "You are not my son," to Tyrion. But the funny thing is, he's your only son, dude. He's your only son because the other 2 are totally Aerys' kids. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. I just think it's more likely than Tyrion being a Targaryen. I think it totally just ruins the arc of the character. It ruins the tragedy of Tyrion for me. If it turns out, oh, he actually wasn't his son and he's actually the special Dragon King. And, you know, the good guys have all these secret backgrounds and they're all gonna fly off on dragons together and save the world. I think it would be much more interesting if Euron gets with Cersei and then Cersei ends up with Dragonbinder somehow and Cersei blows to Dragonbinder and Cersei ends up with one of Dany's dragons. You know, that'd be way more interesting to me than just Tyrion flies off all happy on a dragon and Tyrion, Jon Snow, and Dany fly off on dragons. And, you know, I don't feel like George R. R. Martin would write that, honestly. Living or dead, who is your favorite character in this show? Now, this is a hard question. I had to think about this one for a little bit, but I finally picked Tywin, alright? Now, Tywin has his flaws, obviously he's not a good person, but man, that is one of the most capable leaders in just the entire thing. I mean, look how he handled the Starks. I mean, I love the Starks. I love the Starks, absolutely. They were great people, but they were out of their league when they challenged House Lannister with Tywin at the head. Tywin makes Ned Stark, Robb Stark, and all the rest of them look like little toddlers trying to play chess, and then he's a chess master, you know? That man knows what he was doing. He was Hand of the King for 20 years for a reason. You know, Aerys Targaryen was jealous of him for a reason. I mean, I wish that guy was still alive, because Charles Dance, one of the most phenomenal actors in the entire world, he became that character. Like, I saw Charles Dance on screen, and then next thing I knew, I was reading the books again, and I was picturing Charles Dance's face, like, as I was reading the books, which I do not do, because I've been reading these books so long, I already have, like, my own mental image, like, in my mind when I see these characters. But when I read the books now, and I read a scene with Tywin in it, I see Charles Dance's face. That's how sold he had me on that character. That's a good character, phenomenal, and it's so sad that he's gone. But you know what? At least they killed him off in pretty much the same way that they did in the book, in just a crazy, disrespectful, fucked up way, because he's not a good person. Like I said, he's not a good person. He was kind of his own undoing, honestly, because his children just could not live up to what he wanted, and especially Tyrion. He pushed Tyrion to the point where Tyrion was like, you know what, I'm gonna kill you. You know, he was killed by, like I said, potentially his only son, which makes it even more crazy. But yeah, Tywin Lannister, favorite character. I said it here, but this is show though. In the show, Tywin Lannister is my favorite character. In the book, my answer might be a little different. So yeah, but in the show, Tywin Lannister, definitely. One more announcement before I go, guys. Due to popular demand, I opened up a Patreon account, and you can check that out. Link in the description. So, thank you guys for watching, and as always, make sure you like and subscribe for more ideas of Ice and Fire.